and Brewery has 2 Michigan locations in Troy and Northville. Serves made-from-scratch food, brews in-house beer, and even has brunch every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. To learn more about their daily specials or to book a private party, visit gcfb.com. Make sure you head over to Granite City in Northville at the corner of 7 Mile and Haggerty, or the Troy location at 16 Mile and I-75.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Now Worrell has a good cutback from him. He'll fire one, and that's going to go in! Northwestern is up from 12, now at 10.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic students can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take the focus away from the game. We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
And respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while maintaining a high level of respect for all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Are you looking to take your game to the next level? Did you know that MSN is now offering player recruitment videos? Our packages include a player profile where you show your preferred positions, the club, the league, or school that you play in, your current coach contact information, and more. The highlight videos could be self-submitted, 15 to 30 clips that will be put into a 3 to 7 minute long video. Video review of your Huddle, VO, or other platforms that you might have video on, as well as for an additional charge, MSN can come out and film games for you to create those clips. Our coach evaluation process, which is also an additional charge, where we have college coaches from various levels across the United States that will review your game film and provide feedback on how to improve that film, as well as also evaluating your play and what you can improve on. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Our mission is to help players take their game to the next level and reach their potential. Not only do we help develop fundamental technical skills such as ball control in tight spaces with different surfaces, dribbling at speed and changing direction, using a variety of 1v1 skills to create space, receiving on a half turn, hook turn, and out of the air, finishing off the dribbling, one-touch, volleys, and headers. We help players get comfortable performing these skills at game speed, with pressure, and with both their dominant and non-dominant foot. In addition, we help players with their speed of play, awareness of space, defenders and teammates, and also dominate with their off-the-ball movement. We offer a variety of services such as one-on-ones, small groups, large groups, as well as team sessions. We have an experienced coaching staff that is professional, friendly, patient, while still holding players to high standards and holding them accountable. No matter what level you're at as a player, I'm confident we can help you get better. Over the past 3 years, we've built one of the best soccer-specific training facilities in the country and developed one of the most detail-oriented programs to help out players. Visit our website.
I'm a husband. I'm a father.
I'm a sister.
I'm a son. I'm a brother.
I'm a daughter. I'm a sister.
I'm a referee.
I'm a referee.
I am a referee.
I'm a referee.
In for Baccarat, and that goes in! Hugo Baccarat gives Flint City a 3-2. Buckley, oh, the ball falls to Buckley. One-on-one with Etheridge. What a save! Welcome into the first ever MSN All-State Media Day for girls soccer. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrett. Ball comes in, a good hit! 1-0! Shot, another save from Etheridge. Rebound, and it goes in the back of the net. The Bulldogs up 1-0. Burzma, but then for Vlasma. 3-0. Stewart Heights with a shot. Upper 90 and in. Effectively today here on the Michigan Soccer Network, we are launching our new division of player recruitment videos. Mario Canoe now finds Stock. Stock's got a left-footed banger. He shoots it, and it's in! The Red Hawks equalize!
Going to drop throughout the course of this game, or 56 technically. That wind at about 13 miles an hour, or right around there. Nothing like some chilly Chicago wind during the spring, but that's just something that these players are getting used to here playing in the Midwest. First for the Chicago Nation FC, as we mentioned, a perfect 2-0 so far on the season. Their coaching staff, Matthew Pearson out of the UK, and Alan Kozlicka and Garrett Hayward are their coaches. Again, 2-0 coming into this one. Their first matchup back on March the 30th, a 7-0 win over Isthmus City FC, and then their second game, a 5-1 win over Indiana United. Munir Alami has been the man of the hour in both of those matchups. 5 goals so far on the season. We'll talk about him as our broadcast moves along, but he will certainly be a focal point for the Chicago Nation FC team. On the other side for Street Dreams Academy, again out of Milwaukee, and even 1-1 so far on the season. They lost their opening matchup before winning their second game over Urbana City 4-2 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So it's two teams, Street Dreams looking to pull off the upset, Chicago Nation looking to stay unbeaten as we get you ready for this one. Coming up after this next commercial break, we'll get you ready to go. And it's game time. Here, the spring 2024 regular season rolls along. Chicago Nation and Street Dreams FC when we return on the Michigan Soccer Network.
Now Worrell has a good cutback from him. He'll fire one, and that's going to go in!
Granite City Food and Brewery has 2 Michigan locations in Troy and Northville. serves made-from-scratch food, brews in-house beer, and even has brunch every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. To learn more about their daily specials or to book a private party, visit gcfb.com. Make sure you head over to Granite City in Northville at the corner of 7 Mile and Haggerty, or the Troy location at 16 Mile and I-75.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom.
On the diamond.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
And welcome back on the Michigan Soccer Network. The UPSL Midwest Central Spring Season is underway here in 2024. Game 3 for both of these two teams from the College of DuPage in Glen Ellen, Illinois. We gave you a look at the matchups for both of these teams. It is a chilly one out today, hanging out right around the mid-50s. Those wind gusts, well, welcome to the state of Illinois, right around 15 miles an hour. It is going to be a cold one tonight. For those of you who might have missed it, we can take a look at the coaching staff and the matchup overall for both of these two teams. Again, for Chicago Nation FC, a perfect 2-0 so far on the season. This program has had a lot of success, specifically over the last 3 seasons. We'll talk about some of those individual awards as this broadcast moves along, but they have had a lot of different trips. The UPSL East Champs 2021-2023. They were national finalists in the fall season back in 2021, and so far here in 24, off to a perfect start, 2-0. And I think the biggest differential, the thing that people are looking at the most, 12 goals to just 1 conceded so far in their 2-0 start on the year. Matthew Pearson is their head coach. He's out of the UK. Alan Kozlicka is an assistant. Garrett Hayward also helping out on that crew as well for Chicago Nation. For Street Dreams on the other side, and even 1-1 so far on the year. They're out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Antonio Gonzalez is the head man out of the United States. Daniel Gonzalez is assisting. Luis Flores, as well as Fabian Gonzalez Sanchez for Street Dreams Academy. Dropped their first matchup, came back, and they beat Urbana City in their second game 4-2 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. There's a team that is very deep. They got multiple different options on offense, and we'll see exactly how they choose to deploy their tactics here against Chicago Nation FC. Well, you see both the teams lining up right and left here on the field, about ready to get the anthem underway, as well as both teams starting lineups. And then coming up next, Street Dreams FC and Chicago Nation FC going head-to-head here in Game 3 on the Michigan Soccer Network. And we're back live, Glen Ellen, Illinois, the College of DuPage, the football field, a team that has made plenty of deep trips into the National Junior Collegiate Athletic Association football ranks. They actually won the national championship recently, but we're playing the other football here tonight. Game 3 for both of these two teams, Chicago Nation and Street Dreams. And one of these two teams in Street Dreams, they're looking to pull off the upset against the Chicago Nation FC team, which is off to a roaring start so far this year. Already talked about their undefeated record, and it really comes down to not only the scoring, but you can also talk about Antonio Herrera in goal here for Chicago Nation. He was formerly a part of the Seattle Sounders minor league system, but now he's over here playing for Chicago Nation, but he's only conceded 1 goal so far on the year to 12 on the other side. So when you look at this team from top to bottom, there is really nothing that they can do wrong or have done wrong to this point on the year. For Street Dreams, though, still relatively new to the UPSL, so looking to make their first deep run, and we'll talk a little bit more about their origin story as we get underway. Chicago Nation on the left of your screen there, draped in their blue kits here today. Street Dreams on the right, draped in their white kits. Here on the Michigan Soccer Network, Nate Wangler flying solo, just about ready to get this one underway. Overcast skies overhead, 56 degrees, and it's a little chilly, but fortunately they'll be running around, so it doesn't really affect them all that much. Check that, Chicago Nation is in white. Street Dreams draped in the blue here tonight. Right along the College of DuPage sign in the middle, and we are underway. Warm welcome in to wherever you're joining us from. Michigan Soccer Network is live. Had a lot of the coverage 2023 fall season. Our first time getting a look here at the Chicago Nation team here this year. Just about 30 seconds into this one. Head coach Matthew Pearson, new man up front for the Chicago Nation team. Again, for a program that is used to making a lot of deep runs into the postseason, you don't have to go that far to see it. Here's a deep dump into the Dream zone. Pass set out in front, still an opportunity here along the far side where it's picked up. Work it back in front. Munoz on the Street Dreams as he gets ready to boot it away. Just over a minute into the way back, Chicago. There's the aforementioned Herrera for out of bounds now. Minute 24 in the first half. And formerly of the Seattle Sounders, Antonio Herrera. I think the first thing you notice about him is his height. A little bit taller than some of the other guys out there. You just have to use the eye test to try and figure out exactly the type of goaltender he is, but very athletic, light on his feet. Take another look here at this last pass. Pass set out in front, still an opportunity here along the far side where it's picked up. Chipped it right up in front where they needed to, just weak enough off the left leg. I believe Isaac Sutton that time sent it on goal. A good save by Munoz. Passed in near side. Ized was the one to pass it in. Back out of bounds. This time it belongs to Chicago Nation FC. Well, this Midwest Central division, one of the hardest divisions in the UPSL. When you look around the league as a whole, there's about 500 teams in total across the Premier Division, the Division I ranks, as well as the women ranks in the UPSL. Midwest Division, one of the toughest. Chicago Nation forcing the issue again here. Munoz just tries to work it out, but good pressure Here's a feed and maybe a clear chance. A fake. Now with the left, and he just sends it wide. I believe that was Sutton again. Or check that. Matt Jeffrey sprays that one wide of the right post. 3:22 left, and already a couple of quality opportunities for Chicago Nation right out in front. Get another look at that one. Again here, Munoz tries to work it out, but good pressure. Here's a feed and maybe a clear chance. A little hesitation from Jeffrey before sending it on goal. Already 1 goal so far on the season. Played for Monmouth in college. As with both of these two teams, generally speaking, a lot of the colleges or the places they played beforehand were in either Illinois or the Chicago area, and specifically for Street Dreams Academy. Majority of the players on their side actually from the Wisconsin area, just littered Division III, Division II, and NAIA programs, as well as junior college programs throughout the state of Wisconsin. I'm actually being told right now that we got people taking a poll on exactly who they think is going to win this game. I'm a little hesitant to add my opinion on this. I tend to jinx things. Here's a feed up ahead. And a pull down from behind and a delayed whistle. I believe that's going to be a penalty kick. Take another look at this one. Definitely looked like a pull from behind here. See the defender that time for Street Dreams. Hector Cervantes just getting there a little bit too late. For Austin Gale, that is. Carolina University. Here's our first penalty kick of the game. A chance to go up 1-0. It's Marquez. Off the right foot, and he puts it in. Christian Marquez, the first goal of the game, his first goal of the season. It's just over 5 minutes into this first half. It's 1-0 Chicago Nation. Already, this defense here for the Dream kind of getting caught off guard. This offensive onslaught for Chicago Nation continues. That's now 13 goals to just 1 conceded. We'll get another quick whistle here, this time on the defense of Chicago Nation. It'll be Street Dreams to boot it away, but that wasn't the first time that Chicago Nation has found a hole. As there's a look at that nice and easy to that right side. By the way, Valdivizio is in goal. My apologies, not Jeremy Munoz. And Valdivizio actually dove the right way. He was right on top of that one, just couldn't get far enough extended to pull it back in. Nation here retreating back on offense, just a tick over 6 minutes into this first half here on the Michigan Soccer Network. Inching their way up the left sideline. So Marquez with the first goal of the game, the first goal of the season for Marquez. It's now 6 different players who have scored a goal for the Chicago Nation FC team, although the majority of them has been due to one man, Munir Alami. Back towards the middle of the field, circling back to what we were talking about earlier, people taking a pull online as there's a look. Marquez with goal number 1. That's exactly who is going to win this game. I think the favorite, I'll put it this way since I don't want to pick sides, just trying to play middleman here, but I believe the way Chicago Nation has been playing so far this year, I would take them as the favorite to win this game. But on the other side for Street Dreams, really nothing to lose going up against this squad. I think you understand that you're the underdog in this one here today. Whistle on the throw-in.
Guys, let's go!
Someone's pushing a little sense of urgency from the sidelines. Nearly about 8.5 minutes into this one. Saw a little bit of the sun earlier today, and the clouds have been rolling in and out as we've gone along. Of course, starting this one a little bit later. 7:30 start time here in suburban Chicago. Towards midfield, now reversing it. Ray Fisher with that last touch for Chicago Nation. He's a Chicago kid. Another deep dump into the Street Dream zone. Chicago tries to work it back up top. Street Dreams content with trying to work it backwards in order to work it forwards, but right now Chicago Nation dominating time of possession. Reverse it back into their own zone as they try to push it up here yet again. Game 3 of the 2024 regular season for both of these two teams. And the beginning of Street Dreams is actually a really cool story. Here's a deep pass into the box. Kicked out there, but immediately taken along. Diego Mendoza tries to reverse it back here to the 40-yard line. Deep dump in towards goal, a header, and it's just wide. Valdivieso had to go up and try and knock that one out of the sky. I believe that was Jahir Martinez. Full head of steam leaping through the air. Abraham Horta. Deep dump in towards goal, a header, and it's just wide. With 10:20 left to go, remains a 1-0 lead here for Chicago Nation. But a beautiful facility here at the College of DuPage. You're taking a live look here at the football field. Division III National Junior College Athletic Association. And just beyond this is the baseball field. So you can see off in the distance there. An all-natural field, which is a rarity, especially in the Midwest around this time. Check that. The baseball field is a turf field. So I take it back. 11:08 to go. This one kicked out. Well, it was the Chicago Nation FC team that fell to the Columbus Crew. It was 3-2 in shootouts in the 2023 Fall UPSL National Tournament. We talked about just how extremely competitive the Midwest Central Division is, and Chicago Nation and the Columbus Crew pretty much embody that. And our producer tonight, Jonathan Turner, wants me to let you know that he was on the call for that game. Great job, JT. Just about 12 minutes into this first half. No, Jonathan Turner does a great job. MSN, pretty expansive coverage in the UPSL. We actually took a trip down to the Columbus Crew to call a game. That was before that game, I believe. But it was the day after that the Columbus Crew won their third MLS title. So it was at Lower.com field. They ended up winning title number 3. The first one since 2008. And then the next day, it was Jonathan Turner and Nate Wangler that rolled into town. The UPSL matchup for the Columbus Crew. Of course, we are the Michigan Soccer Network, so I may have worn some Michigan memorabilia. I'll never tell. Chicago Nation reversing it. Now about 13 minutes into this first half, kind of a methodical approach here, and with a 1-0 lead, you don't have to force anything. These deep passes are doing their jobs. One-on-one opportunity turned aside, but they're able to retain possession. Save here for Valdiviezo. Moves it out nearly about 15 minutes into half number 1. Here's a send on net and a save. Not out of the woodworks quite yet. A rebound opportunity, and it's an offsides call here against Chicago Nation. So we'll go back to Valdiviezo. You're 42 to go, and a 1-0 lead for Chicago Nation. About lower.com field. That is a stadium, a brand new stadium. Get a replay of that last play here as this one goes out for a goal kick. Great initial save by Valdiviezo, and then just too anxious on the attack that time. Eden Music charging into the offensive zone. Got called offsides. Here 14-19 to play now. The game recaps, though, for Chicago Nation. We talked about, got that earlier goal. It was Marquez who netted it for Chicago. Number 1 so far in the season for him. It was back in game 1 that we kind of got a look at exactly how much of an offensive juggernaut this team could be. It may be another chance. Shot on, and they score! 2-0, just 15 minutes in. Christian Marquez again. And some vuvuzelas accompany goal 2. Perfect feed on a dime. Marquez just a little head fake, able to work it back to the near post. And it's all Chicago Nation here in half number 1. 2-0, just over 15 minutes in. Closing in, 16 minutes to go. Marquez is going to try to assist on one. Instead, it runs into a body in front. Defensively retreating to stop that one. Street Dreams, Carlos Hernandez. Do another season with this Street Dreams team. Jordan Manjarez also playing with him along that back line. The 2022 Southeast Conference first team recipient. In high school, attended Bradford High School over in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Not too far of a drive from Milwaukee. You can see Old Glory off there in the distance, blowing around ever so slightly. Not a stiff wind, but as soon as you step out of the broadcast booth, you can certainly feel it. It's one of the nice things about the game of soccer or football, whatever you call it, whatever you would like to call it, is that you're constantly moving, as long as you're on the field. Almost 20 minutes gone here in half number 1. Chicago Nation dominating the ball at this point. And also some more news with that last goal for Marquez, the first player on the Chicago Nation FC team to score. Did it in the first 5 minutes of this matchup. Headed out of bounds. Carlos Hernandez leaps up and defends that one. A chance to throw it in deep into the Street Dreams offensive zone with just a tick over 18 minutes away here in half one. It'll be a goal kick here coming up for the goaltender and Valdivieso. But Marquez 2 in the first 5 minutes. Matt Jeffrey at Monmouth had 1 so far this year. Zahad Kidchenko with 1 as well. University of St. Francis. It's an NAIA program. Eden Mujic with 1. Julian Pacheco with a goal out of Chicago State University. And then Munir Alami with 5 of them out of Morocco. Quite the expansive bio on his side. There's an impressive feed into the zone. That skirts past the goaltender for Chicago Nation. Here in Antonio Herrera. To go dive and get that one. Ends up going out of bounds here for a corner kick with 19:14 to play. Coming up in a little bit here, we can take a look at what's ahead for both of these two teams. Still a lot of soccer left, so still an opportunity to come back into this one, but it's always a gauntlet in this division. Jump into the zone and headed out of bounds, leaping up to try and send that one on net. Sean Sheperoff. Concordia University of Wisconsin. There's another look at Marquez. That goal kick a little bit earlier. That put the first goal on the board, and then here's give you a look at goal number 2 here coming up a little bit later. And a feed in front. And there was Marquez's second goal. Back to live action, 2023 gone. Here in half one. Throw out here to Chicago Nation. Nation retreating into their own zone here. So they'll send it up ahead just to tick past 20 minutes here in half one. Street Dreams Academy again 1-1. Antonio Gonzalez, the new head man in charge of this program, who started eventually because there's an offsides called here against Chicago Nation. Hand the ball back to the Street Dreams. But began as an organization in Milwaukee. They kind of wanted to find a medium ground between high school and college, club level and professional level. So they opened up Street Dreams Academy. They had youth teams there, but one of the things they wanted to do in that Milwaukee community is just make a place where playing the game of soccer is more affordable, maybe for the people who couldn't otherwise afford to do it. Welcome back in. Apologize for some of the technical difficulties there. Fortunately, while we were gone, the score did not change. About 30 minutes or just over 30 minutes into this first half. 2-0 lead for Chicago Nation FC. Christian Marquez with both of the early goals. No whistle towards the center of the field. Couple of different players looking for one on that physical play. As there's a deep dump back into the Street Dream zone. Back, far sidelines. It's been Christian Marquez who's been the one leading the way for Chicago Nation, though, as this one's rolled in the Street Dream zone, and now a whistle sounds. A few different players pushing on each other. See if a card is assessed, and there is a card assessed. So a yellow on a shove from behind. Abraham Horta, who was knocked to the ground a little bit earlier by the aforementioned goaltender. And Valdivieso maybe gives it back to him a little bit. A little shove to the back of Jose Mina. He goes barreling into his old goaltender. So we'll bounce this one, boot it out here from goal. Over 31 minutes into this first half now. But Christian Marquez, the two only goals so far on the game. Plays soccer at Marquette. Big East Freshman of the Week honors. One of the Division I players for the Chicago Nation team. Dreams back to the center of the field. They try to work it out here wide. They'll retreat. A kick there by Gutierrez as he tries to work it back. He's fake out along midfield. Trying to tic-tac-toe their way in, but it's quickly taken away. Perez tried to feed it ahead. Then it's set the other direction for Valdivieso, who has become a comfortable distance out of his goal to kick it away. Boots it back towards midfield, 32-25 into this first half. But for Marquez, saw action in 13 games, started in 12 of them for Marquette his senior season. Season high. One of the top players in terms of shots on goal for the program. He's applied the pressure early here tonight. Here's a turnaround shot in front, but a nice defensive stand. Cesar Castillo getting in front of that one, forces the corner kick here for Chicago Nation, 3 minutes past 30. And welcome in to anybody joining us. Michigan Soccer Network, Nate Wangler with you. Solo dolo for this one tonight. Chicago Nation looks to remain undefeated. Street Dreams trying to make it 2 in a row. He's sent in from the corner. Attempted side-winding kick that time, but it's kicked out along further where Chicago Nation will set up for another cross. In front they have bodies. Left on goal and it hit the post. And another rolls onto the field. Julian Pacheco with another shot of that right post. DVAs will go and grab the replacement soccer. For a moment there, we had 2 of them on the field. 34:05, almost about 10 minutes maybe and some change. Away from halftime. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look back at the first half and how everything shook out. Just one player standing out amongst the rest. The importance of good goaltending for this team. And, you know, a squad that, we already mentioned some of the accomplishments. They've made some deep drives. Here's another one, this time into the offensive zone. Saved. Now sent in front for a shot with the right that's sent wide. Edwin Music saved it from going out of bounds, down to his backside for a feed in front. Unfortunately, Kitchenko did not net it. Lofts it just wide of that far post. Valdivieso rather to boot it away here with 35:09 to go, and he's been doing his part to try and keep this team in. Needs that defense to start taking some of the pressure off of his shoulders. Looks like a wide open opportunity to cross. It is. Lofted in, far post, and it misses the intended target. Kitchenko was the one they were looking for. They reverse it back to the 10 for a goal! Chicago Nation in the first half. 3-0 lead in favor of Chi-Town. We always, the growth of new programs and trying to reach new heights, well, oftentimes it comes with baptism by fire. Having to play against some of the programs and some of the teams that have been there and done that multiple times over. And right now, Abraham Horta, by the way, with that last goal for Chicago Nation, his first of the season. So a lot of firsts here tonight for Chicago Nation. Christian Marquez with 2. First player to have multiple goals on the season, not named Munir Alami. And then Abraham Horta with his first on the year with that last one. But for Street Dreams, this does kind of strike you as a baptism by fire kind of night. You want to be able to compete in the Midwest Central region, the division. Gonna have games like this, and that might draw a card. Yanking back on the jersey of the winger that time, Cameron Pegues. And he will not get a card, so they'll just call it a physical play, leave it at that. Free kick here for Chicago Nation, just outside of 3 minutes until 40. And now a breakaway, clean pass, and a save! Valdivieso, just him and the attacker, and he goes down and gets it. Pegues, another physical play. What will this yield? A yellow and a red. So that will be the night for Cameron Pegues. Oh, that's a heartbreaker for them too. A physical defender. Someone out of Tosha West High School in Wisconsin, known for his quickness and his toughness. Maybe lets the emotions get the best of him on that one. 38-56, now they're down a man, and another prime scoring opportunity. Chipped in front. Street Dreams working it back to Valdivieso, who pulls it in with 2 hands, and 39:06 to play. But as if you're not just already dealing with a 3-0 deficit, now playing one man down. I can only imagine what this halftime conversation is going to be like with Antonio Gonzalez. I've been a part of a few. Cross in front and a save. Valdivieso cutting off Abraham Horta, who nearly got a second. Out of bounds near midfield, 39-36. Someone gets a souvenir, I guess, if they want it, or maybe they have to toss it back onto the field. Assuming they have a bag full of soccer balls they can use. So we're now at 40 minutes in this first half. Pressing out wide, cross in front. Blue jersey steps in front of that one. Diego Zarate on the cross. For Chicago Nation FC on the MLS level, though, as this one's worked in offsides into the Street Dream zone. 41:03 to go. It'll be a free kick on the other side for the team in blue. It's been a long trip back to the top of the MLS for Chicago Nation. They do have one MLS Cup, although it was back in the 90s, that is, 1998. Last time that Chicago Nation's parent club was on top of the MLS world, so it's been quite a few years, 26 seasons. They've made a couple of deep runs, and of course we talked about this club level team. They've also done the same. One pass away from potentially another breakaway, but it's taken away by Street Dreams. 41-54, about 42 in the half one. We talked about UPSL East champs, though, for Chicago Nation a couple of times in the last 4 years. National finalists, fall of 2021. National third place in 2021, the spring season. Also 5-time Midwest champs, but they have yet to finish the job and win the UPSL Cup. So oftentimes, something like that, a push can be a shove. Chicago Nation looking to shove back and not just get there, but finish the job. Of course, the schedule only going to continue to get more competitive as this regular season rolls along. Peaking at about 43 minutes to go in half number one. 3 goals already up on the board. Christian Marquez out of Marquette with 2 of them. And Abraham Horta, the other one for Chicago Nation. Big thanks to Michigan Soccer Network, as well as the UPSL, for allowing us to call this game. Good footwork here for Chicago Nation. Valdivieso will allow this one to roll out, and he'll boot him away himself. Minute and a half away from 45 minutes here in half one. Back towards midfield, 43-41 to go, as the night sky has officially fallen over Glen Ellen, Illinois. Lights in full effect. Radiating off of this turf football field in front of us. This team's playing on a variety of different surfaces throughout the course of the year, although most soccer players would tell you they prefer grass. But it's not a bad turf surface here at the College of DuPage by any stretch of the imagination. Closing in on 45 here in half one. 3-0 shutout in favor of Chicago Nation. Versing into their own zone here. A little cross up. Back at the 15. Can they net one more before it's all over? Deep pass. Wide open in front. Shot taken, but a save. Adam Horta had a chance to net another one. But it's not the goalie who saves it this time. It's Hector Cervantes. Sometimes you need a little help from your friends. And that time Cervantes helping out his buddy Valdivieso. You can certainly say he owes him one for that. 45-22. It stays a 3-0 game in favor of Chicago Nation, with a chance maybe to net one more here before halftime. In front, a drive, and it's through the uprights and good. In another sport, that would be 3 points. Not tonight. But for the Chicago Nation FC, founded back in 2020, this club was. Garrett Hayward of Wheaton, Illinois, 36-20 now. Cleared up ahead. We were talking about the huge need to fill the gap between high school, club, and professional soccer. Wanted to elevate the opportunity in the city of Chicago to create a pathway for players to continue their pursuit of a professional career in the game of soccer. And we know how big the game has grown over the recent decade, and it's a slow growth. But you ask a lot of colleges, it's been at the youth level. Drive with the left, sent wide. And that's the first half. Pacheco misses the near goal there at the very end. And that's how we come to a close in half number one. 3-0 in favor of Chicago Nation. Christian Marquez, his first multi-goal of the season. He's got 2 of them. And Abraham Horta with 1 as we draw to halftime. We'll take a break here on the Michigan Soccer Network, bring you back and give you a look at everything that happened in half number one as we get you ready for the second half here on MSN.
Our mission is to help players take their game to the next level and reach their potential. Not only do we help develop fundamental technical skills such as ball control in tight spaces with different surfaces, dribbling at speed and changing direction, using a variety of 1v1 skills to create space, receiving on a half turn, hook turn, and out of the air, finishing off the dribbling, one-touch, volleys, and headers. We help players get comfortable performing these skills at game speed with pressure and with both their dominant and non-dominant foot. In addition, we help players with their speed of play, awareness of space, defenders and teammates, and also dominate with our off-the-ball movement. We offer a variety of services such as one-on-ones, small groups, large groups, as well as team sessions. We have an experienced coaching staff that is professional, friendly, patient, while still holding players to high standards and holding them accountable.
Are you looking to take your game to the next level? Did you know that MSN is now offering player recruitment videos? Our packages include a player profile where you show your preferred positions, the club, the league, or school that you play in, your current coach contact information, and more. The highlight videos could be self-submitted, 15 to 30 clips that will be put into a 3 to 7 minute long video. Video review of your Huddle, VO, or other platforms that you might have video on, as well as for an additional charge, MSN can come out and film games for you to create those clips. Our coach evaluation process, which is also an additional charge, where we have college coaches from various levels across the United States that will review your game film and provide feedback on how to improve that film, as well as also evaluating your play and what you can improve on. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Granite City Food and Brewery has 2 Michigan locations in Troy and Northville. Serves made-from-scratch food, brews in-house beer, and even has brunch every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. To learn more about their daily specials or to book a private party, visit gcfb.com. Make sure you head over to Granite City in Northville at the corner of 7 Mile and Haggerty, or the Troy location at 16 Mile and I-75.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Now Worrell has a good cutback from him. He'll fire one, and that's going to go in! Northwestern is up from 12, now at 10.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We were responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic students can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take the focus away from the game. We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
And respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while maintaining a high level of respect for all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Are you looking to take your game to the next level? Did you know that MSN is now offering player recruitment videos? Our packages include a player profile where you show your preferred positions, the club, the league, or school that you play in, your current coach contact information, and more. The highlight videos could be self-submitted, 15 to 30 clips that will be put into a 3 to 7 minute long video. Video review of your Huddle, VO, or other platforms that you might have video on, as well as for an additional charge, MSN can come out and film games for you to create those clips. Our coach evaluation process, which is also an additional charge, where we have college coaches from various levels across the United States that will review your game film and provide feedback on how to improve that film, as well as also evaluating your play and what you can improve on. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Our mission is to help players take their game to the next level and reach their potential. Not only do we help develop fundamental technical skills such as ball control in tight spaces with different surfaces, dribbling at speed and changing direction, using a variety of 1v1 skills to create space, receiving on a half turn, hook turn, and out of the air, finishing off the dribbling, one-touch, volleys, and headers. We help players get comfortable performing these skills at game speed with pressure and with both their dominant and non-dominant foot. In addition, we help players with their speed of play, awareness of space, defenders and teammates, and also dominate with our off-the-ball movement. We offer a variety of services such as one-on-ones, small groups, large groups, as well as team sessions. We have an experienced coaching staff that is professional, friendly, patient, while still holding players to high standards and holding them accountable. No matter what level you're at as a player, I'm confident we can help you get better. Over the past 3 years, we've built one of the best soccer-specific training facilities in the country and developed one of the most detail-oriented programs to help out players. Visit our website.
I'm a husband. I'm a father.
I'm a sister.
I'm a son. I'm a brother.
I'm a daughter. I'm a sister.
I'm a referee.
I'm a referee.
I am a referee.
I'm a referee.
Wait, guys, coach is coming.
No, it's fine. We're watching the game on Michigan Soccer Network.
Well, you heard him. Michigan Soccer Network is the place to be. Back live inside of the College of DuPage Football Stadium in Glen Ellen, Illinois. 3-0 lead in favor of Chicago Nation. Nate Wangler with you for this one here tonight. We can take a look at our scoring recap from half number one. Well, it began. Christian Marquez was pulled down from behind inside the box on an attack for the Chicago Nation. Ended up earning himself a penalty kick where he got goal number one. And goal number two of the game was a great feed up ahead from Diego that put Marquez in a good position to strike for goal number two. This is his first multi-goal game of the season, the first player to do it, or the second player rather to do it on this team so far this season. And then it was Abraham Porta who scored goal number three in that first half for Chicago Nation, right now delivering them that 3-0 lead. And just in a general sense, in half number one, it really was Chicago Nation that dominated not only time of possession, but movement of the soccer ball as well. We can also take a look at what's coming up for both of these two teams. One more half of football before we get ready for the rest of the season. For the Chicago Nation, they're in the midst of a pretty long homestand right now. So this Street Dreams team, the second to last, they take on Round Lake Evolution FC in their next game here at home, coming up on the 27th, and then on May the 4th, back on the road. A 3-game stretch on the road. They won't be back home until June the 1st. They take on Goshen City FC, Diverse City FC Pro Assad, as well as Panathinaikos Chicago. So it'll be 3 straight games on the road for Chicago Nation FC after the conclusion of this one. You see both teams huddling up on their respective sides and just about ready to go here in half number two. On the other side for Street Dreams, though, Wislaka Chicago, KS Wislaka Chicago. They also take on the Chicago Strikers, both of those games at home before going back on the road on May the 11th against Round Lake Evolution FC. Some other news in that first half, too. It was a red card for one of the biggest offenders for the Street Dreams team, and something that certainly is going to affect them in half number two. Cameron Pigues was addressed a red card. It was immediately after what was a tough play, got a talking to from the referee, and then immediately after that, chopped the legs out from a Chicago Nation FC player. Sasa Lebovic, and was addressed the red card. So Chicago Nation for the remaining 45 and some change on the power play here in half number 2. 3-0 in favor of Chi-Town. Welcome back in on the Michigan Soccer Network. Proud to bring you this 2024 UPSL Spring Regular Season Contest. Brian Del Viziezo still in goal here for Street Dreams. Feet in front, and a goal! Missed the first target, found the second one, it's 4-0. Isaac Sutton along the far side. And maybe even a better assist on the other end. Lance Summerfield fed it past the first option, and then it was Sutton along the far post who tapped it in. We're not even 2 minutes into half number 2. And Chicago Nation just added another one, 4-0. And I don't think it's very far-fetched to start talking about we might be seeing here tonight one of those teams who's ready to make a deep, deep run come the postseason tournament. Do they have another one up their sleeve? They scored their first 3 of the game, all within the first 15 minutes of that first half. Street Dreams, that is, was able to kind of calm everything down, defend well towards the end of the half. El Viezo doing everything that he can. But whatever the conversation was during halftime with the Chicago Nation team, you'd probably assume that 4-0 is a safe bet. Over 50% in terms of that poll we were talking about earlier, favored to win this game. Of course, I feel like looking at the score right now with the way it is here in half number 2, it's a whole lot easier to make that assertion now than it was to begin this game. Street Dreams just got caught off balance, haven't really been able to catch up. I think maybe no better example of that than their lack of pressure on goal. That's the first time Antonio Herrera has had to touch the ball in probably just over 25, maybe 30 minutes. Valdiviezo will retreat with the ball here inside his own goal and work it out. 3 minutes away here in half number 2. You're talking about the founding of the Chicago Nation team. Kind of a cool story about the badge and colors when they founded the program back in the year 2020. For Street Dreams trying to set up an attack here. Lofted in front, but immediately headed away. Looked like they were looking for Carlos Hernandez. Now they try to work it again back out in front, but it's a goal kick. Charging along that far side, Austin Gale, Carolina University. Pass just a little bit errant. Couldn't get to him. So it'll be a goal kick here for Chicago Nation. Gale is mentioned out of Carolina University. A forward. Freshman, went to Shorewood High School. Chicago Nation could just kind of play a stall ball game now. Just waste away time. And you see continually those wingers and those attackers breaking through that back defensive line for the Dream. No offsides flags going up. There were a couple of them called in the first half. Now this one chipped up and in. Another one. This has officially become a rout as it's now 5-0 Chicago Nation. And that is the 6th goal of the season for the goal leader in Munir Alami. He had 4 in game number 2, or rather 1 in game number 2, 4 in game number 1, and a 7-1 win over Isthmus City. And now he adds another one. Fed in front, diving on top of that one, the goaltender for Chicago Nation, Antonio Herrera. Or rather, Valdivieso for Street Dreams. We waited to hear when we were going to hear that name, and finally, Munir Alami has his name called. Formerly of Berber City FC, another soccer club stationed out of the city of Chicago, where he won the Golden Boot Award. Scored 27 goals in the UPSL fall season in 2022 and 20 goals in the NSL winter season in 2022. And I was doing my research on Alami, and don't quote me on this, but I did believe that I saw that he played in the USA Cup with Chicago FC and actually scored a goal with Chicago FC. He has some experience all over this organization. About 7 minutes aside here in half 2. Nation. And kicked out. Goal kick coming up. So 52-37 to play, or rather 52-37 in. And another corner kick here for Chicago. Go short with it. Long try from up top. Not a clean look by any stretch. Cleared out of the defensive zone momentarily here by Street Dreams. 53:08, it heads out of bounds. Whistle sounds and some substitutions. Checking into the game here for Street Dreams, making one substitution. Mateo Tapias. About 9 minutes away here in half 2. 5-0 our tally. If you're just joining us in half number 2. First 3 goals of this game in the first 15 minutes for Chicago Nation. Christian Marquez with 2. Now an opportunity along the far post. Instead they work it back for a potential cross. Lofted up, far post, and it's off the top of the goal. And out of bounds. Valdivieso will put a boot into it. For the Street Dreams team, though, Soccer Academy makes a beautiful game accessible for a lot of Milwaukee youth. It's a good piece written back on August the 14th, 2023 from a Milwaukee-based publication, talking about the mission of this program. 10 minutes into half 2 along the midfield. Chicago Nation with possession and a 5-0 lead in 3 different goal scorers in this game. Street Dreams will try to work it out here. The academy was started in 2019. It was actually 5 friends who grew up playing soccer together in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area. Cesar Castillo, Fabian Gonzalez, who have both been teammates for about 2 decades up to that point. Deep lob into the Street Dream zone, picked up by Valdivieso as he rolls it out. You're just past 10 minutes into half 2. Chipped along the far side. Quote, Fabian remembering, he goes, we grew up playing against each other. And around U10, they started playing together as teammates. And then the idea came up of, you know, what if we start an academy that gave kids more of an opportunity to play this beautiful game? And that's kind of what the idea was born from. But all in all, it was 5 different friends, including those 2, the main 2, and their big vision to empower the community through the game of soccer. I'll certainly say they've done so. I've already talked about the growth of the game. About 12 minutes into half 2, Valdivieso, little goal kick here, down 5-0. Despite their big disadvantage here tonight, maybe an opportunity to build some character, give themselves a look at what is needed to be done if they want to play amongst some of the best. Giovanni Malgoza will check in for Street Dreams. A couple of substitutions on the other side for Chicago Nation as well. Coming up on the next whistle. This one sent out of bounds, back into the possession of Street Dreams. A real grassroots organization is Street Dreams. And in that way, it makes it a lot easier to cheer for. Deep loft into the Chicago zone. It's Alishan Shaparov. Out of Concordia U, and then a deep shot the other way. That finds the net. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Guess who? Alami with goal 7. Three games, 7 goals for Alami on the Chicago Nation FC team. If he continues to play like this, there might be an argument that he's one of the best in the entire UPSL. He's just making it look easy at this point. Kichenko checks in. Saha Kichenko. Eden Music. He is called the King of Chicago, is Alami. Oh, Kichenko is called the King of Chicago. Really? All right. Our executive producer, Jonathan Turner, is telling me this information now. Is this a self-proclaimed King of Chicago, JT? Here's a deep feed. Oh, okay. So in other words, Garrett Haywood says he's the King of Chicago. I'll take his word for it. There's a bicycle try. Knocked down. Rebound chance. Sent wide. Eden Music. Almost got goal number 2 of the night. Instead, he sends it just wide of that post. 60 minutes into this one, it stays a 6-0 lead here for Chicago Nation. So 6-0 lead here for Chicago Nation. Well, if you're Street Dreams right now, I think the one thing you want to do is just score a goal any way you can. Just get one on the board to try and give yourself a little bit of confidence going into the next matchup. I've done a decent amount of soccer. I've never seen a 6-0 comeback before. But at the very least, give yourself a little bit of that positive mo heading into what should be a tough season. Well, 61-13 in. Out of bounds was 61-43 into this one. Looking back at their last win, though, for Street Dreams back on April the 13th. Took on Urbana City FC back in Milwaukee. Got that win 4-2. It was Hector Cervantes who had a chance a little bit earlier in this game. Had two of them. Mateo Tapias, who just checked into the game, who had the third goal. Chance in front. Ooh, kicked up over the goal. Another cross right in front. I believe that was the man of the hour. And Olami looking for goal number 8. Misses on it, though. 62-27. They'll boot it away. But Tapias had the other goal, and then Jonathan Monreal Herrera. Despite what we're seeing here tonight, I think this might be an indication of just how good Chicago Nation is versus, maybe how unprepared or not up to snuff Street Dreams is, because both of the games that they've had, they won their second one, but their first one, they only lost by a goal, and it was a late goal, too. Played another club out of Chicago. Austin Gale had a goal. Christopher Quinto Zambudio had a goal, as well as Byron Gutierrez, but it was Jose Herrera on the other side, his second goal of the game. That was the deciding one that led to that narrow defeat for Street Dreams. So a couple of lucky breaks. They also could be a 2-0 team coming into this game, but clearly that means different things when you're going up against a team like Chicago Nation. Almost 20 minutes into half two. Feet ahead. Lofted. Far post. They head it back for a drive in front that's kicked aside. Jose Mina on the defensive end. Wait for it in front. Dreams able to wrestle it away, but it's immediately intercepted. Toiling around midfield. Now they send it in, and the assist just a little bit too strong. Christian Marquez looking for the hat trick. He'll have to wait a little bit to get that. It'll be a goal kick here for Valdivieso. Now officially 20 minutes here in the half number 2. But the UPSL itself formed back in 2011, and it occupies the unofficial, really kind of the 4th tier of U.S. soccer. Across its premier Division I, women's academy divisions, More than 500 teams nationwide, members of the UPS. It's actually now the largest pro development league in North America, and is the national affiliate member of the U.S. Soccer Federation, USSF. Turned over back into the possession of the team draped in blue here in Street Dreams. Trying to tic-tac-toe back in their own zone, and they turn it over back to the White Kilts here. 6-0 Chicago Nation. 21 minutes into half number 2. Might be content with just going with more of a conservative approach here. Or maybe they'll try to pour it on a little bit more. That feed up ahead intercepted. One thing about the UPSL, each individual team is individually owned and operated, every single one of them. They're eligible to participate in the U.S. Open Cup qualifying rounds. In deep. Antonio Herrera slides down to make the save. I believe that was an offsides whistle. 66-47, new couple of substitutions coming into the game. Diego Zarate will check in. Matt Jeffrey also standing right in front of him. So a few fresh bodies onto the field here for Chicago Nation with the 6-0 lead. 67-04 into it. Each team in the UPSL individually owned and operated. Teams are eligible, again, U.S. Open Cup qualifying rounds through the league's affiliation with the USSF. Of course, for more information, go to www.upsl.com, or you can follow the league anywhere on social media, Facebook, Instagram at UPSL Soccer. Same tag on Twitter as well. I can tell you, at least from personal experience, having already covered the Columbus Crew, that is. Close enough. A lot of talent in this league. Approaching 70 minutes into this one. Pace of this game slowing down a little bit here in half number 2 as we're nearly about 70 minutes in. Of course, it was a great 2023 fall season in the UPSL. Street Dreams looking for any sort of open window to move the ball up the field. Frankly, they've had some issues getting the ball past center field tonight. They finally do here. And nearly a breakaway opportunity. Instead, it's a whistle and a yellow card. This time it's being addressed to Chicago Nation. Amin Mized. Foul from behind. Baltazar Perez waiting patiently along the sidelines here for Street Dreams. 1 minute out here from 70. So he'll check in. Street Dreams tried to work it in front, but headed immediately back. It's the aforementioned Mateo Tapias with the drive. As this one's kicked out of bounds. Good defense. Brandon Monzo forces the corner kick for Chicago Nation. Over 70 minutes, 70:04 now to play. Looking back at the national finals, fall national finals 2023, it was the Columbus Crew who actually made a run to the Final Four. Didn't end up winning that tournament. Chicago Nation, can they make it 7? Deep lob. Headed away, but not out of trouble yet. And the whistle sounds. Chicago Nation player got chopped down from behind. Mateo Tapias, one committing the infraction. Now a free kick in a very dangerous area. 71-02 into this one. The King of Chicago. Ooh, sends it just a little bit high. The self-proclaimed King of Chicago, Kichenko, misses that top bar. 6-0, it's back to Street Dreams inside of 20 to go. Viezo here waiting for the ball. It slowly comes rolling back into the screen. Picks it up and gets ready to boot it away. For Kichenko, though. University of St. Francis, 17 games played, 22 goals, a pair of assists. Also got some all-conference honors during his time with St. Francis. Actually, the college that I do some games for, Cornerstone University, they actually played St. Francis. They've actually gotten some FaceTime with Kichenko.
Don't walk around the field, though. We win the ball back.
Defensive stand. Slowly inching their way up the near sidelines. Closing in on 15 minutes to go in this one. They have numbers. And another penalty kick coming up. Yellow card is presented. A very clear infraction defensively on that one. Jose Mina addressed the yellow card. Maybe not a penalty kick. Looks like a free kick, so just outside of the box. A drive off the top post. Rebound chance. That one deflects. Third opportunity is wide. Oh, they had 3 cracks at it. Alami nearly bent it like Beckham inside that top post. It deflects, though. I believe that was Kichenko in front with the second and third attempts. Not able to make it a 7-0 game. About 15 minutes until the conclusion of this one. Starting to get a little bit chillier here in Glen Ellen, Illinois. We talked about the weather to begin this game. Right around 56 degrees with wind gusts at 15 miles an hour. Whistle sounds here on a physical play. Gives the ball back to Street Dreams. 75-45 into this one. For some of these kids who are from the city of Chicago, who are from suburban Chicago on the side of Chicago Nation, it's probably nothing. They have numbers again. Chipped up, past the goaltender, and just wide. Edwin Music. Eden Music, that is. Nearly found the back of the net, 76-19 though.
Tony.
Del DiBiaso gets the ball back.
Yeah.
I almost feel like they should have a designated ball person. Maybe they do. There's a lot of room out there on the track to go retrieve those soccer balls. 77-05 into it, nearing 10 minutes to go in this game. And to those of you who have been with us this whole game, maybe to those of you who haven't been with us, seems like this one is all but over with. Just trying to make sure that these two teams finish the game healthy. Obviously that nothing dirty happened. We always talk about games like this can kind of be a push or a shove for teams who are on the receiving end. Street Dreams will try to use this one. Rifled on net, right at Del DiBiaso though, as he goes down to a knee and gets it with 77-49 and tries to work it out here. It's still a long way to go for Street Dreams. It's a young group out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Sure to be at the level that they want to be. Dreams moving it across the halfway mark. Our executive producer, JT, is asking me to sing. Must be nice having the name JT. Everyone think you're Justin Timberlake? Can you sing like Justin Timberlake? He tries singing Britney Spears to prove he can sing like Justin Timberlake. At least you got Britney down. And another one. Why not? 7-0 in favor of Chicago Nation. And it's the King of Chicago, Zaha Kidchenko, finds the back of the net. The King of Chicago is not Caleb Williams. It's this young man. Inside of 10 minutes to go, Street Dreams Trying to set up a successful attack. It will not be successful. Taken away here by Chicago Nation. They have numbers. 3-on-2 as they charge into Dream Zone. Cross in front. Bodies there. Shot taken. Valdivieso was saved. Still bodies in front. Work it far to the right side for another cross that's batted around. Nobody there. Shot up. And this time, just a little bit wide of the goalpost. 81:05 to go. We were talking a little bit earlier about Chicago Nation, their founding team that does quite well in the UPSL. Decided to choose the UPSL because of the national platform, and at that point when they joined, it was only 400 teams, including what was then 16 MLS clubs. Now what we've said is now ever since then, it's actually ballooned to 500. I mean, all you need to do is just kind of go to the website of the UPSL, and you can scroll through a laundry list of soccer programs from around the United States. 82 minutes into this one. But the UPSL was rebooted in Chicago by Garrett Hayward, who ran 3 teams in 2021 and recruited 4 others, originally creating the UPSL. Lobbed in front, and it's number 8. Stop Alami. 8 goals on the season. 8-0 Chicago Nation. Inside of 10 minutes to go. Garrett Hayward created the UPSL Midwest Central, by the way. They also felt it as if maybe some of the local leagues didn't offer anything much more than a repeating cycle of season and playoffs, kind of a rinse and repeat. But in terms of growth and exposure, the UPSL has pretty much separated itself on that Tier 4 level that we were talking about a little bit earlier. And you can see that through the opportunity to not only just play so many different teams, but also some of the venues you get to play, considering the fact that these MLS squads, it was 16 of them at the time and has grown ever since. But especially, and we were talking about it earlier, getting the chance to call the UPSL game at the Columbus Crew immediately after they won the MLS Cup was a very cool opportunity. I think one of the most bizarre parts about that entire experience was the minute we got there, got the chance to go walk down on the field and whatnot, there were actually people out there with vacuum cleaners trying to get all the confetti up. Did they get it all off before the game? No, they didn't. But boy, they tried. Inside of 5 minutes to play here in half number 2. 8-0 lead for Chicago Nation. Just kind of sleepwalking their way through this one. Street Dreams. In a moment, we can take a look at, again, what's coming up for both of these two teams. Talked about it during the halftime show. Looks like maybe an offsides called here. Exactly what it is. 86-02. That'll give the ball back here to Street Dreams inside of 4 minutes. But a look back at our scoring recap in this one today. Isaac Sutton with a goal. Lance Summerfield with an assist, as well as Diego Mendoza. Zahad Kidchenko with the goal. Nearly had 2 of them. Christian Marquez got our first 2 goals of the game for Chicago Nation in this one. Nero Lamy, goals 6, 7, and 8. This one's rocketed out of bounds. About 87 minutes in. And then Abraham Horta also had a goal back in the first half. That was one of the first 3 for Chicago Nation in this game. Taking advantage here in their home territory. Street Dreams has been shut out. You give credit where it's due, though. Valdivieso has done his best to stick in against this team, but you can only do so much when you're up against so much offensive firepower on the other side. Chicago Nation after this one, taking on Round Lake Evolution FC. Yet another home game for the Chicago Nation squad before, as we talked about, a road trip that will essentially last the entire month of May. Next game will be at Wheaton College Joe Meade Stadium, Wheaton, Illinois. April 27th. It'll be an 8 o'clock start. It's Eastern time. 7 o'clock Central. Chicago Nation might get to double digits. Valdivieso is saved. Goes out of bounds. It'll become a corner kick here for Chicago Nation. So that's the upcoming matchup for the Chicago team. For Street Dreams, another Chicago squad, KS Wislaka Chicago on 2 p.m. over in St. Augustine. Corner kick. Valdivieso punches it away. Rebound chance, just wide, off the deflection. Did a Street Dreams player touch it on its way in? They did not. It's a goal kick coming up here. Another Chicago team. Wislaka Chicago out of Chicago, Illinois. St. Augustine Preparatory Academy over in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's a Sunday, April the 28th game, 5 o'clock start. And that one for Street Dreams. Just about a minute out from the conclusion of this one in a game that was pretty much decided in the first 15 minutes, maybe even less here tonight. 8-0 lead for Chicago Nation. We could take one more look back at our final totals after the conclusion of this one here today. Wanted to say thank you to everybody who's made the broadcast possible and everyone who logged on today to view this one on the Michigan Soccer Network. And what has turned into a somewhat cold but kind of comfortable Sunday night here in Glen Ellen, Illinois. There's the final whistle. 90 minutes have come and gone. And it was all Chicago all the way. 8-0 winners in this one here today. Well, one more look at the goal scoring in this one. Isaac Sutton with a goal. Lance Summerfield and Diego Mendoza both with assists. Zaha Kitchenko with his second goal of the year. Christian Marquez with a pair. Manir Alami with 6, 7, and 8. And Abraham Porta with a goal as well. 8-0 win for Chicago Nation as they look forward to trying to keep this unbeaten streak alive. 3-0 on the season as Street Dreams falls to 1-2. My name is Nate Wangler. Thank you so much for joining us tonight from Glen Ellen, Illinois. And until we talk to you next time, so long, everybody.